Hello my wonderful viewers, welcome back to my channel. This topic we are about to discuss now has been in Nigerians' public discussion for years. That topic is about referendum. Our famous lawyer, our famous constitutional lawyer, Mike Ozekhome, has said that he does not know why the National Assembly is afraid of that word referendum. He doesn't know why they are afraid of referendum. This is the topic we are in now. Anyway, before we continue with the discussion, please, if you are new to my channel, I thank you for so doing. God will bless you for coming to my channel, and please, before you leave, support the channel by subscribing. Hit the red button so that each time I publish new video, you'll be notified. And to my old subscribers, I thank you so much. God will bless you. God will bless you for supporting this channel. So let's go to this very topic. You know, the referendum is what the Biafran has been demanding for years now, championed by Nnamdi Kanu. And this has resulted to the killings of hundreds of thousands of Biafran youths, just demanding for a referendum for us to decide if we'll be part of Nigeria or not. And this topic can never ever go away until it is done. So, before we continue, let's listen to Mike Ozekhome first of all.
Trying to restructure this behemoth, this elephantine, this very unwieldy unitary federation, which passes for a federal system of government. How do we go about it? That has always been the question. And I have never underrated the role of the National Assembly. But the National Assembly, on the other hand, does not seem to understand what it ought to do. I took on frontally the Deputy Senate President, Senator Omo Agege, on this issue, penultimate Friday at the International Conference Center, where I explained on a blow-by-blow account how to bring what we call about a people's constitution after a referendum. These are words that these people are afraid of. I don't know why they are afraid of referendum or people's constitution. It was done in Eritrea, in Bangladesh, in Iran, in Iraq, in Egypt, in Kenya, in South Africa, in Singapore, in Morocco. These people, even with a government in power, were able to start a new document called the People's Constitution, which was subjected to the people in a referendum.
The leader of indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, replied to this man. And let me just read briefly what he said. The narrative that the leaders of the so-called South-South and Southeast, or even the National Assembly, are against Biafra is irrelevant. What is relevant is the popular will of the people, which can be determined only through a referendum. So this is the reply to what Ozekhome had said. I mean, the response from the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, that it does not matter what the National Assembly does. It does not matter whether they are interested in a referendum or not, that referendum will surely come to pass, and the people's will is what will prevail. The people's will is what will prevail. That is Nnamdi Kanu's response. So, to my learned lawyer, whether the National Assembly, they raised the topic or they didn't raise the topic, is irrelevant. As long as Nnamdi Kanu is still championing this cause for freedom, the freedom of every indigenous people in Nigeria. So, our learned advocate, our learned lawyer, let me explain to you why the National Assembly are afraid of the word referendum. A call for referendum means a call for war. That referendum means war as far as the caliphate is concerned in Nigeria. Don't you get it? Didn't you ask why is it that IPOB was proscribed? Why? What did they do? It's because they only asked for referendum. They said they need a referendum. And the caliphate said it's a call for war. That is why today, as I'm talking today, there is a military occupation in the east. Killing, maiming, killing innocent Biafran youths. It's because of that word, referendum. Don't you know it? Don't you get it? Now, the caliphate is being controlled by the British. The British, they know that the democratic way of resolving Nigerians' problem or this agitation is by a referendum. So they have warned them, never ever mention referendum at the National Assembly, because it is going to generate a serious discussion, and that means disintegration of Nigeria, which they themselves created and they are still in control of. Again, anybody that mentions referendum at the National Assembly means that you are going to lose your position in the next election. So nobody is going to try it. This is how the caliphate have programmed the National Assembly. So any of the senators or a House of Reps member that mention referendum means that person has brought war. That is what it means. So that is the reason. It's not that they don't know that referendum can resolve a lot of issues in Nigeria. No. They know quite all right. It doesn't also mean that they don't know that so many other countries have used it. Even the British, they use referendum to get out of European Union. The same British has offered Scotland referendum before, and is about to offer them the second time. It's not that they don't know all these things. They know quite all right. But they are afraid because they are going to lose. This their looting avenue is number one, National Assembly. So if you mention referendum, it means you have lost your chances of looting money, looting from the public, making yourself rich. That is what it means. And they will do everything possible to avoid it. Anything possible. It doesn't matter the outcome. They will do anything they can not to mention referendum. They are not going to do it. That's why they are afraid. That is why they are afraid. If you don't know this, if any of them mention referendum, it means they'll be proscribed like IPOB. The National Assembly can be proscribed by the caliphate. They have the power to proscribe them. Don't you know that? All this why they have been changing things. All we do is not to go and in newspaper and say, oh, why did they do this? We keep complaining, but nothing changes. It still remains what they decide. So the only option is to force the referendum, which IPOB is doing, which Nnamdi Kanu is championing. So it's the right course on what he's doing. We have to force them to give us that referendum. If they don't give it to us, we take it by force. So that is the only option left. So leave this your complaint. It's never going to work. It's never going to change anything. The only option is you join our agitation, just the way you started asking why they are afraid of referendum.